Hello my friends, welcome back to another video. If you're new, my name's Nat Moran and I live in my 4Runner full-time with my 3 dogs. And today joining me is Jethro, who desperately wants to be in my lap, and I am letting him come up here if he wants to because he's my sweet boy and I love him. And he's a little chilly. So we are staying pretty warm for the most part in Southern California visiting my family, but it has definitely gotten a little bit more chilly than I'm accustomed to. So I'm a little bit cold right now, but we've got our blankets and our hot coffee and teas, and we're just gonna make the best of it because it definitely could be worse, like it was for me last year when I was in Colorado for most of the winter. And it was very, very cold. So today we're gonna do things a little bit differently and we're gonna discuss how I find free camping. This is a really fun topic for me and has been definitely something that has developed and grown over the last almost 2 years that I've been on the road. It's hard to believe that I'm coming up on my 2nd anniversary on the road, and I'm just so thrilled to have been able to document this journey and have you guys join me along the way. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss out, and let's jump right on in. So when I first hit the road full time, I was using several different applications. I was accustomed to some of these already because I had been going on overland adventures in my RAV4 before I hit the road full time. So I kind of had a basic understanding of how to use these applications and which ones worked best and which ones I could do without. So when I first hit the road, I used campendium.com. That was probably my #1 source to get free camping because it's a really neat platform that allows you to read reviews, search based on cell phone coverage and accessibility, noise levels, things like that. Now, a lot of these apps have that in common where it'll be able to tell you different things about the campsites. So some of the apps that I've used in the past aside from campendium.com is freecampsites.net. That's not my favorite, but it does work if I cannot find anything as a last resort. I use Free Roam, I've used The Dirt, and Google Maps. When I'm in a bind and I cannot find camping, now this doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen, I will use All Trails. All Trails is an awesome application that I use for hiking and my backpacking trips. So when you filter in All Trails based off backpacking locations, you can typically park overnight at trailheads. And though I won't have the same options as the filtered features within the other applications, it still gives me a pretty good understanding of what to expect, mostly from the trail perspective, but it's a good backup for me when I cannot find anything. Now, when I first started, I didn't use this next app, but it has become my #1 favorite app to use. In fact, I don't hardly ever have to open up the other apps because I use this next app. My absolute favorite app that I use for finding free campsites is called Overlander, and it allows you to filter based on your needs. Now, I'm not affiliated with them at all. This is purely me sharing my experiences with you, but let's go ahead and jump into Overlander and show you the application and why I love it so much. Okay, so now I'm sharing my screen with you all, and I have Overlander's desktop version pulled up. Now, when I'm on the road, I don't use the desktop version. I use the app on my phone, but they both work about the same. It's just the layout's a little bit different. So for the purpose of this video, I wanted to show you on the desktop because it's very interactive, just like it is on the app. So when you've got this website pulled open, you can see that there is a map at the bottom. There are some filter options. Now there are some drop downs up at the top and you can select those and research each of those if you would like. But for the most part, we're gonna be using the bottom half of the screen. Okay, so to search, you've got a couple different ways that you can do it. You can either type in a location, a GPS coordinate, or you can scroll through the map. Now, the map itself, whether it's on the desktop or on the application on your phone, is very interactive. I really, really love how Overlander has put this platform together. It just makes it so much easier. But before you start searching, I want to show you the legend. So here are all of the different ways that you can search through Overlander. So here you can see that you can search by established campgrounds, wild camping, hostels. You can check locations with propane, with water, restaurants, Wi-Fi, pet services where there's showers that are public. There is so much information. And when I had the truck camper, I loved it because I could find dump stations and read reviews and get pricing ideas. There's also bank information, medical information, laundromats and their costs. And it is just amazing how much information is piled into this application. I've got informal and wild camping selected, so it is showing me those two categories. Now you're going to see there's a bunch of dots with different numbers here, and those numbers just represent how many teardrops are in that location. They're just kind of piled into one circle the further out you zoom. But if I were to zoom in, you would be able to see that those little teardrops start appearing on the screen. So right here, it looks like there's a little body of water. I have no idea where I'm even at, but we're gonna check out this dirt road. Let's just say that I wanted to be here and I liked it because it's next to water. It looks like it's big rig possible. So this looks promising for larger rigs. So let's hit the more details and see more about this specific location. So when you collect the more details, it's gonna open up a specific website for this location. It's gonna have a zoomed in map. It's gonna have the name, where it's located. So if you scroll down a little bit, it's gonna show some information. It's gonna show you details. The last comment was 3 months ago, so it has some pretty recent reviews. Here is the exact GPS locations, the altitude. You can see the amenities here. It does look like it might be big rig friendly, so it probably is not going to be as dispersed as I would like for the 4Runner and for my purposes, but if you have a larger rig, this might be perfect for you. So now you can kind of look at the pictures, and looking at this picture, this is one I want to tag. So on the side here, you can see the latest check-ins. Last check-in for this location was August 26th of 2022. Someone left a review that says there's lots of spaces to park with great views of the Pinnacles and Brooks Lake. So one thing that this location does not indicate is whether or not it has cell phone service. So one of the biggest challenges that I have with iOverlander is that it doesn't list your cell phone service ability on every single review. Because it's people like you and I just posting comments and pictures. So if somebody has checked in and didn't indicate whether or not it had cell phone service or not, it's not going to tell you. So that can be a little bit frustrating when you're trying to figure out where to go, especially if you're like me, when you have to work and you have to have Verizon because that's who your cell phone provider is through. But for the most part, a lot of these users leave that information. This one just didn't. So this looks like a really cool one. So let's say you want to go to it, you can add it to your favorites and it'll save it so that you can pin it later. So the next time I'm in Wyoming, I can check this location and I can go check it out if I would like to. And it does look like there is a campsite, an actual campsite nearby. So there's water. So this is what it looks like when you see this little water hydrant. Let's click the more details and it's going to show you that at this location right here, water is available on site number 7. Sites are feet only, but you can fill up the water tank on the side of the road. There's no pictures of this, but this was the latest review, was in 2021. So because it's not recent, I would give it a try and see what happens. And then if there was no water or something, I would leave a check-in just to say, hey, I came to this location, I had water or I didn't have water, and this is how I got it. I have an Android, so when I hit the GPS button, it's gonna auto open my Google Maps to that location and then direct me to that. I don't know how the other systems work, but for the Android, it's pretty user-friendly. Okay, so now let's take a look at a teardrop that shows Verizon service. So you can see the details, the description. Unfortunately, there are no photos, but you can see that there is good AT&T and Verizon signal. It's a bit windy and there's no shade. Okay, now let's check out some of the other features that iOverlander has. For example, let's look for water. So now you can see a bunch of water spigots have popped up on the map. Now this one's right off the I-40 just outside of Flagstaff, and it's a rest area. So let's take a look at what this rest area has to offer. So you can see you've got your details, your GPS, doesn't have any amenities, but it does have some photos, and you can see where the water is located based on this picture roughly. Now it does say that as of June 2020, water is available. So it means that probably this will turn off in the wintertime. So it's good to read these reviews to see, especially when you're in some higher elevations where there could be some frozen water spigots. So let's just take a look. You can see that as of November 17th, This is a very recent review. There are 2 spigots in the parking lot, and this is a beautiful rest area with clean restrooms. So you can just take a look at the different reviews, and it looks like on March 7th, there was no water available. It could be a temporary situation, but no one was around to ask. So it's not always a guarantee, but sometimes, but for the most part, this is a really awesome tool. This person even said that there's AT&T service there, so if you were looking to stop at this rest stop to get some water and take a nap, and you have AT&T, you can also browse the internet. Okay, my friends, I hope that you found this information useful and helpful. If you have any additional questions or would like me to cover a topic that I haven't discussed yet in my For Realsies series, please leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. I really am starting to struggle with content to come out with, so if you've got any ideas, please send them my way. All right, you all, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't liked it, please give this video a like and share it with a friend or family member or somebody that you think would benefit from this, and subscribe to the channel. All right, well, that's it for now. So until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you later. Bye.